Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we get right into the video here, a little bit of a life update on the weight loss as well as my shoulder injury. Showing some B-roll here of me at the practice range, just hitting some close range wedge shots with the lob wedge. Really soft day here. The ground was almost like hitting out of a bunker. You didn't play the bounce of the club just dug in, and I hit some fat ones here. And a couple where I didn't hit the ground. So, yeah, just right into the trees in the background. But we dialed it in a little bit. As far as weight loss goes, down to 205 to 207 right now from 219. So lost anywhere from 12 to 14, 15 pounds, depending on the day and time of day, which is exciting. We're 10 to 11 pounds from goal here, where we get that new sweet, sweet driver. I did finally complete PT on my shoulder. They required it and got an MRI and finally got the results. Got mostly good news. I do have a small tear in my shoulder in my rotator cuff. As you can see on the image on screen here, that tear is in the front side of the shoulder where the pectoral muscles kind of meet and come into the rotator cuff, right where the arrow is. It's internal. You can't see it. Even if they cut me open, they wouldn't be able to see it because it's internal to the muscle. It's a fairly small tear, but it pinches on some arm motions, and that causes me the sharp pain. That is better with PT, and if I continue the exercises and stretches I learned in PT, they're hoping it will just get better and better. The good news is it's really hard for me to hurt it any further, especially at this point now that it's stronger, and my shoulders feel really good. So without too much extra, let's get right into this par 3 course. I did not film the first shot because I wasn't that confident I was going to try to film it, and I'll tell you what, filming golf videos is hard. Mad props to any channels that do this all the time. It's hard to film golf videos, especially if you're doing it yourself with a tripod. Didn't film the first shot, but I did get a birdie look on the first hole. You have to see how it goes. So this is that first birdie putt, left to right about 20 feet, bladed an 8-iron up there, but ended up fairly close considering. First putt of the day, rolled it nicely and sunk it. Birdie on the first hole. The second hole was about 120 yards downhill, not too much wind at this point, hit a gap wedge. Hit it pretty well, a little bit thin, but controlled the distance pretty well. Ended with a birdie putt, probably 30, 35 feet straight up a hill onto a sloped green. These greens were super slow, and they hadn't been cut yet that day. Hit a really nice putt again, and lifted out with just too much speed. We won't show you the eventual 3-putt for bogey. Another gap wedge on this hole. I actually hit two really, really nice shots on this hole, both with gap wedge into the wind. They both ended up on the green. Really started to dial in the wedge a little bit here. Make some good spins, some good contact. And as I get to the green, I was just super psyched, so I pulled my phone out. Check these shots out. It was about uphill, about 120 yards into the fan. Ball on the right is the first ball. Ball on the second is the second ball. Hit the second ball a little better. Picked both of them pretty clean, though. Almost no spin. Hit them a little higher than I should have, but I don't know, 10, 12 feet for birdie for both. Got to hit that birdie putt now. Got to make sure I get it really good and close. Felt pretty good about it. Rolled a decent putt. Just didn't read it super well. A little more left to right than I anticipated. The speed was held pretty well. And this green was kind of wet. Everything was kind of wet. It was pretty early in the morning still. And some stuff was wet. Some stuff wasn't. This hole's the same line as the last hole. You see it looks really similar, except there's a pond you really can't see with this framing on the left. So if you miss left, it's in trouble. I got nervous over it and bladed this shot and pushed it way out right of the pin. Distance ended up okay. This green is nutty. There's a hill right up to the pin. The pin's right on top of the hill. It's a terrible pin location. I put it up on the ridge, and it rolled back down about 1.5 feet. That's just disappointing. I was a little bit frustrated with myself. So instead of taking my time, I walked up there and just hit it again. Now you're seeing more than one ball. Yeah, 3-putt for bogey. That's what you want to see. I'm frustrated with myself here. I am frustrated. As I tap that in,
pin's not in.
You see me say it, the pin's not in. That's a theme you're going to see, all right?
Choke down a little bit.
If you see another ball on the greens, I'm actually playing 2 balls here. This is a tough shot. That pond that we looked at is in front of us now, and the green's on the other side. It's about 110 yards, and I was scared of this shot. I think maybe 115. Usually that's a sand wedge, but I took the gap again and tried to choke down and hit it low, and just caught it pretty flush. It really was way too much club. Ended up long of the green. I hit my second ball. I hit the sand wedge. You can see it put it right next to the pin, 12 feet. But definitely should have hit the sand wedge to begin with. I just got scared of it on the first ball. So this is a really tough chip, probably my best shot all day. The green is running straight away from me. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's a wicked downhill chip. I'm in the rough. There's no way I'm going to spin it. I land it right where I want to, let it trickle on. It kicked a little bit farther right than I anticipated, but overall, a really, really nice chip with the ball below my feet. This is a par putt. Save par in this hole. And I gave it a good roll, but unfortunately, just misread a little bit. That's another bogey, but saving bogey after being in that kind of position, I'm happy with. Another blind tee shot. You can't quite see the pin, and the framing on the camera here is just, I mean, top tier for sure. Hit the gap wedge again. Should have hit sand wedge. Tried to hit another 3/4 compressed low gap wedge, and I hit the shot I wanted to, but again, without a rangefinder, it ended up about 35 feet long. So down this hill, 35 feet for birdie. Big Roger to left break here. Left it just a tad short. The hole was pretty stepped on up the last 10 feet to the pin. Hadn't been moved in a while, and it was pretty tore up. Ball just kind of died down there. And I didn't hit a good putt, so there you go. But quick little tap in for par. Really happy with that, especially for a blind shot in a hole I never hit. This is, I believe, the 8th hole. I skipped a hole here that I didn't film well. It's up the hill, 165 yards, and I took an 8-iron, hit it nice and low, took a good chunk out of it, pulled it though, and just cleared that deep front bunker. Ended up left of the pin, another 25-foot birdie putt. The birdie putts are kind of long, but I'm really happy with not having played golf. You know, I'll take a birdie putt even if it's super long all day. Another 2-tier green, and I'm again on the bottom tier. This pin's actually over the ridge and not right on it, which is a win. Had to smack this putt up that tier. Starting to get hang of the greens now. They just kind of dried out by this time. I was walking this course, so everything was, you know, drying out over time and really get a little bit more consistent as you kind of got up there. You can see how marked up some of these greens were. And again, it's a $12 par 3 course. You can't complain about that. Had a great old time doing it. And tap that in. And you'll notice.
Can we put pins in? I mean, just all the way? That'd be great.
That pin wasn't in either. I don't know who was playing in front of me that morning. But, you know, just it's not rocket science. Put the pins in. It made me chuckle a little bit. Several holes like that. This is the last hole of this little par 3 course. It's downhill about 110 yards. Took my Walmart special sand wedge. Man, do I need a better sand wedge. Both balls ended up on the green. Hit them really well, and I had last hole to have this putt for birdie. 12 feet, looked pretty flat. It was really hard to read this. Really stiff wind, and the green's kind of running away from you here. At least that's what it feels because it's so downhill, and they kind of leveled the green into the downhill. Never played this course, didn't really know this putt. My putting posture, I've noticed, is just, it needs some work. You know, it's not great, but we'll work on it. Last hole birdie, can we hit it? No, just pushed it out to the right. Couldn't convince myself it wasn't going to break. But a tap in par to finish, 4 over on this 9. Really happy with it.
That was fun, guys.
That was a fun round. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.